to it, the more I want to kill myself.
Well, I mean, you are the number one. You are the most likely one in the group.
To axe myself?
Yeah,
I
100%.
mean, what when the bell tolls,
Is that a confirmation that you're gonna go first, or
No, I'm just saying that bells toll and bells chime and sometimes people end up hanging from rafters.
oh boy?
I have no idea where this is from.
Welcome back to another Handsome Jack's episode. Your usual angry Canadian host is back and not getting sweared at by some random Americans. As unusual, we have two other people. I have the group's resident Nazi and vibe checker, Jake.
Konnichiwa, my mans.
That was a very late vibe check.
Vibes were not checked. And then we have the human COVID vaccine, Jelly.
Yo, you got the vaccine
welcome
in your
back.
blood and you haven't been telling us?
Not yet. I will though, probably.
But you're the human vaccine, so why do you need it? You could have been selling your blood this whole time.
Because I don't have the newest vaccine. The old vaccine will probably be irrelevant within a year.
I think he just needs his blood to live, and he's trying to live.
I mean,
We need to figure out a way to get him not to live. I'll take all of it.
Just convince me of something that I said 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, you got a point. Well, this week we're doing my show, and I let the boys pick for actually doing the podcast last week between Iron Blooded Orphans and Kuroko no Basket and the Mecha one, even though the two people that voted for Mecha are not here.
Yeah, I don't want to.
And one of the people that didn't vote.
The basketball anime.
I didn't even vote.
Yeah, we gave you like 3 days, Jelly, and you were just and Joe was like, "Fuck it, we're doing Mecha," and they're like, "Oh yeah, now I want to vote basketball."
I just said if it'd make you happy.
Yeah, that
Clearly you don't want to be happy anymore.
That made me more angry than anything, if I'm honest. I was like, oh, now you fucking answer. And you answer with this, I want to punch you in your stupid goddamn country-ass looking Bob Ross face.
My Bob Ross face?
You look like Bob Ross in Brendan's wedding photos. That was the last photo I saw of you, so.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans is about a show that happened roughly 3,000 years after the Calamity War, which is basically Gundam's reforming how society was structured. And now we start in Mars, which is the boonies of the universe, with a bunch of fucking slaves that turn free. They're turned free.
So, question. Because I don't know shit about Gundam. Do most of the Gundam series take place around the same time period?
Okay, glad you asked. Just had this conversation with Jake before we started. So, this is not in what's called the main Gundam universe. All right, the main Gundam universe has like a show that's like in a series of timelines. So like one shows after the other, after the other, after the other, with like a few mixed in between, and they all focus around this stupid fucking theme called new types, which are basically like people born in space, like have superior minds, where they get like this like sixth sense, can see the whole battlefield and like communicate people and be able to like feel their feelings and shit like that. It's really fucking stupid, and this is not in that universe. So this is a complete universe on its own, although there is a second series coming out in this universe.
But the that one system that was implanted in the main character, is that kind of like a holdback from that series?
No, I think that's completely unique to this series. I don't think there's anything like the Alea Vignana in any of the other series that I can think of off the top of my head.
If you're talking about the design, Joey, that's just kind of like the Goku of Gundam. Like every Gundam has to have something that looks like the trademark Gundam.
No, yeah, I know the actual mech very whenever I think of Gundam, I'm like, oh, big flashy robot thing that's probably got some blues and reds and whites.
Yeah.
America.
Now I'm concerned why Japan's using American colors on like every single main Gundam, but you know what? I'm not going to question it.
Because they're the best colors. Like in America.
I will fucking cut out your blue.
You know what? You're doing us a favor. Get rid of the blue. Defund the police!
Oh my!
And just like that day of this podcast on release.
We just lost one American viewer.
One American.
He's like, fuck this anime shit. I'm going back to watching NASCAR on the cable television.
All we do is turn left, but it's a high-paying job.
Really good at social commentary.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, see, with all that weird wizard shit, Joel, this is why the only one I ever watched as a kid was the fucking martial arts Gundam.
Oh yeah, G-Fighter or whatever it is.
Yep.
Burning Finger and Shining Finger.
Oh yeah, I'm all about that shit. That shit was my jam back in the day.
And the Michael Jackson-esque fucking kung fu fighting.
Yep.
With finger blasting.
Yep.
That's a thing.
Michael
Just
Jackson's
insert chat
Moonwalker.
face. Yes.
Makes you want to play Michael Jackson's Moonwalker on the Sega Genesis.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, so I made you guys watch up till episode 17. Jelly got to 13, and Jake got to 17. What did y'all motherfuckers think about the show in general?
I'll let Jake go first.
So I started out not really caring for it, but then once I got past episode 5 or so, I started liking it more. And by the time I finished up just a little bit ago on 17, I'm really into it. I'm probably going to end up finishing the rest of this season later this week sometime.
Hey, thank you. Maybe you can help me get Austin to watch this show for the past 2 fucking years. Been trying to do.
I enjoyed it. First episode I felt like it was a bit rushed and kind of all over the place. They're showing a lot of different stuff, so it got a little convoluted. But I got the general premise, and I thought the Diamond Dogs but children was a cool angle to go with.
Hey, Diamond Dogs did have children.
Yeah,
I know, but that was like a later addition. Boss, you're raising the youngsters; they're gonna become perfect soldiers like you. The next generation of.
Why did you give him the fucking snake voice?
I don't know. But it's impossible to think of the show. Orca, we gotta take care of these children.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
We gotta find an outer heaven for us soldiers locked into eternal conflict. We're just trying to not be slave mutts to the society anymore.
I mean, that's pretty accurate for the main.
Mars has fucked us up. We were raised as slaves.
I mean, dude, have you seen the show? Mars sounds like a shithole.
I mean, it looks like a shithole most of the time the show is on there.
Yeah. You're not wrong. Except for when they go back to Mars. When they go back to Mars, there's some dope shit that happens, but I ain't gonna spoil that.
Okay. The farm did look nice. I like to live on the Mars farm. That was peaceful looking.
I found it was a very different setting to most other animes, and I liked that. And I liked how there's nothing perfect in it. It was very fucked up, and there had to be a lot of world building initially, which is why it's so slow at the start. But then they don't really have to world build that much, or at least feel like it's like, I don't know, breaking fourth wall. Here's what you need to know, viewer. Herder.
They do a lot of world building, but a lot of it is like character in world building. They show you the other side of. They show you like the enemies, and they talk and talk and talk and talk and talk about what they're talking about.
Welcome to a Gundam series. They talk about like 80% of the time, and the other 20% is cool fucking mech fights.
Yeah, you got like 2 things in Gundam from my eye.
And then like a little bit of fan service.
And robots fighting.
Oh yeah, dude, the actual politics in this show is actually a really cool aspect
It was
of it
actually
because
pretty engaging.
I know this is one of the few shows that does like it well. Because usually you're just like, nah, politics. I don't give a fuck. Get me on to the next plot point. But
Like
it's really good in the show.
it was giving me Lelouch vibes with how
Yes,
it was handling this like uprising and revolution and space politics and backstabbings.
all of the backstabbings. There's
I
a lot of plot lines running at the same time in the first season.
and I enjoyed the characters. I think a lot of them are stand out. I don't really remember a whole lot of their names, and a lot of them pretty generic, but I think they filled a purpose pretty well for each thing they need to do. And I
I
want to
think
see these. I want to see these little fucking tykes, get get what they deserve. I mean, they've been through hell. I like how they sell that really, really well at first, even if it's a bit heavy-handed.
one of the things I really like about the characters, they're a fucked up, ragged bunch of like imperfect people. Like no one in that main cast is like a perfect human being, and they're like far from being like redeemable in a lot of senses. And it's like that's such a refreshing take compared to most mainstream anime that you end up watching. I'm just like, yes, give me something different.
I don't know. The main character is pretty. He's pretty cool. He had the Alea Vignana system implanted in him. He mastered a mech in one fight because, of course, he can.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't even know how to fucking read. He just doesn't give a shit about anything.
Honestly,
Yeah.
like at first, I didn't really like him because I was like, oh, it's just I'm too cool and edgy, so I'm an aloof anime protagonist. But it's like, oh no, he's literally just super autismo, and all he knows how to do is kill and listen to Orca's instructions.
Yep.
He's like Kirito, but with a learning disability.
Oh God.
So like, I don't know, like so the direction they took him, I wasn't completely expecting. It was like a lot more interesting. It's like that one scene where like early on where the general dude is like, "You finally beat me, and so now I will let you honorably kill." And before he even finishes, he just fucking shoots him 3 times,
Yeah.
caps his ass. Like most
I thought
animes,
that
you
was
know,
pretty
like
cool.
the guy be like, "I will let you finish your honorable speech, and then I will kill you as an honorable warrior." Now Mika's
Nah,
just like, "Ah, fuck you."
he's like, I
Yeah,
want
but-
fucking dinner. I gotta get this shit rolling.
I got some grapes in my pocket I want to eat, man.
yeah, fuck this shit.
You know what? I would be really impressed with the safety precautions if you had grapes in your pocket instead of a mech and they were still grapes by the end of it.
I don't know what it is, but like throughout the anime, he's always like pulling something like looks purple out of his pocket and munching on it. I'm not sure
Yeah,
if it's almond or
Good
grape or
point that
what.
you mentioned that. I had never noticed that.
they do mention it at one point. It's like some sort of like sun fruit, so it's meant to be like raisins or grapes kind of deal.
Okay.
Like that's what it's meant to be. Yeah, at one point the Biscuit's grandmother, like the farm lady, gives him like, "Oh yeah, here's this for you," and he's like, "Oh cool, I was about to run out of them."
Nice.
And then that's like the only other time it's mentioned, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That and he likes chocolate.
Is there more fan service?
There's not a whole lot of it, but there is
Why?
fan
Is it
service.
because they're children?
Listen, Joey, I know you were hoping for more of the lolly girl.
I was
Yeah,
surprised they
Joey's a
even
child
showed what they
bride
did.
dude. That was his favorite character, I bet.
Probably.
Mr.
I mean,
Mustache, Mr. Classic. I'm the adult who's gonna fake being with the children so he can scam them later. Why does
Oh
he have
no,
a
not
Hitler
that dude. Fucking
mustache?
blonde dude working for Galahorn.
because he immediately marks him as an evil bastard. Who?
Yeah,
Let me ask you. When was the last time you saw a Hitler mustache on a character and you're like, that person's a good person?
I'm sure I could think of one of them.
Go ahead. You know
Uh,
what? Google it. I bet
You let me
you
know if you
won't.
find a good character that has a Hitler stash. I
okay,
doubt you will.
I'll find one. Give me about 2 seconds.
But
All right,
honestly,
his
that's
name is
honestly like
Adolf.
going
His
back
name
to
is Adolf Hitler.
oh Jesus
And
Christ. And you call me the Nazi, Joe?
yeah, my bad. I got the titles wrong this episode. Goddamn. Should let you do the intros again. You did better than me anyway.
Jesus. But no, like going back to the characters, like right off the bat, I was like, oh, here's the blonde dude and his right hand man who probably is going to be stooges to the corporation this whole time. But like the more you watch, the more they're like getting actually sickened with how Gallahorns run, and there's a lot more
Mhm.
depth to the characters than I initially thought there was going to be. So I was impressed. I was like, wow, this is actually interesting. These guys are. I'm actually like interested on all sides of the fight now.
They do a good job in like steadily bringing them in too, because like they introduce them and they kind of build them as like a side character, and you're like, well, this character is never going to get any development.
Mm-hmm.
But then they kind of like bring them into the story like naturally, like as Tekkadan like gets bigger, and they're like, oh, we have a mobile suit that we can give to Shino, and then you start getting a little bit development, Shino, but it doesn't feel like it doesn't belong because
Yeah.
he gets a little bit more build up as he goes through the show.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Pink. Yeah.
Oh, the
All
pink
he
mecha
needs is,
dude.
he just needs all the pink. Yeah, it's Sheena.
Dude, he was great. I loved his first fight.
Jake,
Boss, we've
you wanna-
unlocked a new Metal Gear for us to use in combat.
do you want to
I'm not sure I'm ready to
foreshadowing?
pilot this, but we have no other choices. I gotta hop in this thing for the Pearl Pops.
There is a time where you didn't get to it, but one of the guys jumps in Barbatos to deliver it to Mikazuki, and he just like has a fucking seizure as soon as he connects to it.
Oh yeah,
Mikazuki has
I remember
limited
that
options.
fucking guy.
Yeah.
He's just like, what the
He's
fuck are you
like-
doing? Get out of there!
He's like, I want to be a useful character. And he's like, no, you're just fodder. Fuck off.
We're not that far in the story yet, son. Get out of that.
Yeah.
I do like that there's not a ton of characters that you have to like super hyper focus on memorizing. A lot of them you
Yeah.
could just kind of push and put when you see them in the scene. You're like, okay, so that's what that person does, and then yeah, I
And
don't
they're
know.
very good at
You go ahead.
separating them in terms of design too. Like no two characters look too similar, so you're not like, wait, is that one guy or the other guy? The only one that's similar is the two blondes.
Yeah.
That's like the only similar design.
Yeah, I feel like they did a
I'm
good
just gonna
job
say this.
characters from each other.
I'm just gonna say this. Any character that's designed like Biscuit is always the mechanic, like smart guy.
Yes.
He's always if they're chubby like it's just a stereotype.
If they're fat, they have to be useful in some way other than physically. So they
Yeah.
either have to be smart, a mechanic, or something in between.
Yeah,
But, yeah.
like
Or a hacker.
like the guy in the new Voltron series that's on Netflix. Like he's like he turns into the mech, like the repair guy, but
Hey, hold up.
he's also like the group shield guy.
Hold up, call a timeout. You've been watching the new remake of Voltron?
I watched it a while ago. I think I'm like 2 or 3 seasons behind actually, but I enjoyed it. Animation's really good.
How
What
can
were
we
we
not
talking
get
about?
this? How can we not get this man to watch more anime, but he will watch seasons of Voltron?
I'm very picky. I don't like being told what to do.
Just like a true blue American.
How can you be the most liberal person I know and also be the most American I know?
Because boss, I don't stand by other people's decisions. You gotta follow your own destiny.
Jelly, if you're gonna be Miller, you gotta do Miller's voice. You're doing Boss's voice while you're doing Boss.
It's been a long time. I haven't played it.
Jelly's just like, it's been a long day. I've hung out with the elderly for the past 12 hours.
It was 8 hours, Jake.
He hung out with the elderly while watching kids fighting mechs.
I wish.
Anyway, Jake, what I was
If I
trying
could get some of the old elderly people to watch anime with me, it'd be a very, very fun time.
You need to start
Okay, with-
organizing anime nights in like the atrium.
That's a good idea.
God.
What would be the anime that we would show to the elderly people?
Oh my god, something with a lot of lewd in it.
Yeah, something very lewd for the old men.
What was the most backwards, disgusting show that an old person would hate?
Queen. Wait,
I'll
Queen
be saying
something.
Food
Queen.
Wars.
Show them
Wait,
Queen
no.
Blade.
No.
Queen
Oh,
Blade.
Food Wars would be good. Jelly, what was that show? That high school show you recommended last season? The Host Club or something?
Oh, or on High School
Yeah.
Host Club.
Yes, make him watch that fuck shit. They would be appalled.
They would.
I'm trying to think.
Or make them watch Ghost Stories, dub. Do you accept our Lord and Savior Jesus?
I don't think they'd like. I don't think they like the Jesus jokes.
Probably not. That's why you would do it.
It's technically a Catholic establishment.
Anyway, what I was trying to say before, Jake, with that pink dude, do you want a foreshadowing / spoiler about that character that
Honestly,
revolves
no.
around the
I
color
want to stay
pink?
as blind as possible.
Okay, I'll just tell you it revolves around the color pink, and you'll figure it out when it happens.
Oh man, he's getting with that one chick, ain't he?
No, but yeah, but no, but yeah, but no.
Awesome.
Pink hair chick.
Pink, the dude that's obsessed with the color pink. He paints his suit pink and everything. And his
I don't
visor
think I've
pink.
gotten. I don't think I've gotten there yet.
Oh, maybe
No,
that
that was
happens
just
in
in
one or two
episode
episodes.
17 or 16.
Oh, was it?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
She knows his name. The guy with the earring. One of the
He had
fucking
like
soldier
short
dudes
red
with the
hair.
earring.
One of the taller,
okay.
older looking ones.
Jelly doesn't remember. All right.
There's just like, I don't know. I was high when I watched this.
You probably was.
Also not wrong.
For half of it,
you
I
were
thought this was supposed to be Scooby Doo.
Jelly. Jake, did you know that Jelly did one of our podcast episodes on LSD?
Yes, he told us before we started. He's like, "Hey, I just did a hit of acid."
Yeah, Jake was the only one there on time
Yeah.
with me, so I told him. I don't know why
You
you
were
just shared my
impressive
secret of the
until
podcast, but thank you.
Because I don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah. Trust me, we
Fucking-
only got like 2
fucking
more in us.
Respond when I message you, maybe, and I'll give a fuck. It's just the reason why your name is the ghost in the goddamn fucking podcast chat. Anyway, let's start running through the D scale a little bit. So we're gonna go story. How did you guys feel the story was told throughout the whatever episodes we got through?
I would at least give it a 4. I was very engaged with the story. I'm liking all of the character development that's going on, and we're finally getting to where Cordelia, I believe what her name was, is finally starting to actually come into her own as trying to be a beacon of hope and revolution.
Instead of maiden and damsel in
Thank
distress.
God.
Yeah, she's going from damsel to
She
actual
is
maiden
so
hero.
freaking bland.
She
I'm
turns
just-
into an interesting character.
She's just.
I'm just a naive activist who is supposed to know a lot about this subject, but is constantly surprised by how poor the conditions are for all the children workers here.
You stopped like 1 or 2 episodes too soon, Jelly, because she starts to get a lot of development in like the next couple episodes into a big plot point turn.
Well, I knew that she had it in her eventually, but I know that she was sidelined for way too long. Like, there better be something big around the corner.
See, I didn't have too much of an issue with her development taking this long because it's like she's obviously, despite her best efforts, is incredibly sheltered, and she's just now able to finally see actual conditions aside from like the one time she like ventured out to see the slums.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like,
so
you gotta
she's
remember-
so her activism is just her like taking a few camera crews with her and be like, look how bad it is. I'm rich, but this looks really bad to me.
And that's actually a plot point later in
Yeah.
the next couple episodes is like one of the people when she was young going to the slums, like there's a difference between charity and actually helping them, you know.
Yeah.
Damn,
Like I said,
she got fucking called out.
Yeah,
I'm glad.
so
this
it actually
is
goes-
why I
it's
told you to
pretty
watch.
cool.
This is why I told you to watch episode 17, because then you would have got actually a good place to end on.
True. I think I will continue the show on. I will just jump right to it and say I will watch at least the first season because I am enjoying it so far, and I want to see my my diamond dogs grow into quite the terrifying paramilitary, and then we find out that that one of the characters isn't actually Orca's not actually the boss.
Jesus Christ. We're not talking about fucking Phantom Pain this podcast, Jelly.
Jesus.
Sorry.
Well, Jelly, what do you rate it out of 5?
The story, I'd give it a good old 3. I'm enjoying it. I
So
think
good.
I think it's running on some like familiar territory, but it's jumping into its own. So
Yeah, I understand why it starts so slow because they don't really have to stop for world building like later, but like it could be handled better. So I think up to like episode 17, I have to give it a 3. Once it gets past there, probably give it a 4. Like when you start getting in like the teens, it's like a 4, and I like it the rest of the way through. Although there is one plot hole that I really hate, but I'm not going to talk about that because it's spoilers.
We'll get there when we get there.
When we get there. All I'm going to say, Jake, is if you get through this season and you get to the next season, when you hit episode 17 or 37, so into the next season, so is that 12 the next season?
Okay.
Fan fucking tastic fight that you'll love.
Got it.
can we talk about the fights real quick?
Yes.
They're just okay.
I like the fights.
Like
I
all the
like-
fights I've seen thus far, especially the mech fights, have just been way too like I don't know. They didn't really have none of the mechs have weight to them. If I'm gonna compare this to any other mech show right now, I'll just go with the original Evangelion series. The mechs in that show did a lot of like bombastic maneuvers, but they always kind of felt like they had the weight and power behind them. It seems like this is just like doing like 180 flip shits like every second, and just like they're moving around so crazy, and it's hard to get your balance of where the camera's at and where the action is. They're just and they're doing flips and shit. It's like me just taking a bunch of toys and just like just like it kind of reminds me of that frantic kind of feel. It's cool. I'm not gonna lie, it is cool. I enjoy the fight scenes, but it seems a bit too frantic and a too like uh kind of well. At first, it felt so grounded because they're using the mobile workers, and those have weight, and you saw how they're drifting around. I'm like, this is dope. This is badass. They're using like combat maneuvers and stuff, but then the mech suits just fucking fly around, and all of a sudden, this kid who came and read is like fucking the best.
Well, that's first of all
Yeah,
that.
I just really explained anime.
First of all, that. Second of all, the reason he's so good is because he got 3 fucking Alea Vignana surgeries, so he's got 2 more organs than most of them fucking do in terms of central And I kind of disagree. Like specifically, Barbatos flies around like a fucking like on a wire. Like literally anything he wants to do, he can do. But it's kind of built into Mikazuki as a character. I don't feel like the mobile suits of the other characters do anything that crazy until you start to get in like the teens.
Okay, well, I get he has to because Gundams are supposed to be the best. So
Yeah.
like god tier gifts of why is it that they haven't made any more Gundam level technology?
Because the Alea Vignana system, which that Gundam frame is, the Gundam frames are specifically designed to. You can't have a Gundam frame without having the Alea Vignana, unless that's the idea behind it. Anyway,
In this timeline, and then
but
the
it's
other
also
timelines
been
it's different.
outlawed. But it's also been outlawed. So they built them to basically defeat what's called mobile armors, which was basically like
Space aliens.
no.
Space aliens.
Imagine basically making like an autonomous vehicle, like kind of like a ship, in a sense, compared to like a Gundam frame. It'd be like more like a ship or like a fighter plane, and it's autonomous, and its only job is to kill. It was basically made to just say, "Fuck it, we're nuking." Like you know how in today's current society is if one of us launches a fucking nuke, everyone launches a nuke, and the world just dies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically,
Gundams are the Cold War, pretty much.
No, so the mobile armors were basically just like, yeah, we're just gonna nuke it, and then we're like, well, how the fuck do we fight these things that are basically just trying to kill everything? Let's do this illegal shit where we like force someone into having a sensory organ shoved into their fucking spine, and then we'll build the suits around this so that they can compete with them. And then they outlawed it because it's very unhumanitarian.
Yeah, if I remember right, that's why they're all kids on the CCG because they're all like the operation goes best with children while they're still developing.
Yep. Yeah, which is another immoral thing. So it's very much illegal, and the reason that the main characters have them is because you're literally in bumfuck nowhere in Mars.
They wanted the kids to work,
Being
so they
enslaved.
implanted more shit into them.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
my
they
understanding
want
why
to
they
be
don't even
useful.
keep making those high tech Gundams that don't require it is because there's no really didn't seem like there was any use for it. They just made lower grade ones because that's all they need now. Because they only made like what
Yeah,
76 of like the super high tech Gundams.
close 72.
Yep.
They're not necessarily like super high tech. They're just high performance.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like technology has really changed that much. It just kind of looks like the government succeeded in basically having like an eternal stalemate in terms of nothing really new has come out, so they can just better control the population, which is probably one of the reasons why there's such a divide between the high class and low class in their society. But
Capitalism. Sorry.
yeah, capitalism. Yeah, that's what's going to happen in our society in a few fucking years.
Yeah, we'll have paramilitaries filled with little children's space rats. Except
Probably not to that extent, but it'll probably the
Just
gap
watch.
gets so
Just watch.
fucking divided.
Mexico will have its cartels full of jacked up little Latino children.
Won't surprise
And
me if I had
then they're gonna
seen-
take over. They're gonna take over our cartel leader and be like, "We're going straight."
Well, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me with how they treated El Chapo's son, but you know. Anyway, let's move on to characters. What are we thinking for characters in terms of rating?
Honestly, I think I'm going to 4 again. Like I said, I really didn't. I thought they're going to be pretty flat characters initially, but they surprised me with how much depth they gave these like already well trodden archetypes that they presented me here. So I'm liking them.
Mm. Joel, what do you think about them?
I'd probably give them a 4 because I really like the dysfunctional disasters that these characters basically are. Like, I like the flawed human beings, and they're basically not perfect. Because I think I've watched too many shows that have fucking Kirito-esque, I'm perfect, I am God kind of bullshit.
Yes. Enough
Yeah,
of
I think we're all tired of
that
Kirito.
bullshit. I'll take this every day of the week over that.
Yeah. And this is the Sword Art fan.
The last one of my kind.
Yeah.
That's not true, Jake. You're not a true Sword Art fan. You haven't seen the movie and watched and read the fucking stupid side arcs. And
Jake wanted to, and then I described what happened to him in the most recent series, and he said, "Fuck that." So
Yeah, the last thing I watched was the first half of Gun Gale, where it was like, "Hey, this is surprisingly good. I wonder what's going on next." And then it was like, "Oh, that's right. This is Sword Art."
I got tricked. I was like, "Oh, Sword Art," and I clicked on it, and it was just like this fucking little tiny pink-haired girl with the sniper rifle. I'm like, this isn't what I know."
Surprisingly, from what I have heard, is the Sword Art stuff that doesn't have Kirito is actually good stuff.
wouldn't surprise me.
Because Kirito's like one of the worst written characters ever. Like, goddamn, I liked him in the first season, but
But then they were like,
what
"Hey,
a,
everyone loves this wish fulfillment character because they just all think they're this super badass gamer dude."
they all want
Let's
to
give
fuck
him
the
this
red-haired bitch,
harem of a
and then
bunch
they
of
all
different
want to fuck
girls
the
every
pink-haired bitch,
episode.
and then he wants to fuck his own sister.
No, that
Stop
was the
making.
plot point. He didn't want to fuck his own sister.
No, I'm
Well,
saying that
sister
people loved playing their fantasies. They're like, "Ah, man, I want to be Kirito because I'd be fucking my sister all the time."
I mean, I could sit here and say I hate Kirito and SEO is bad, but my favorite Gundam series literally has who they refer to as Jesus Yamato because he's literally is fucking Jesus in the show. But I just love the aesthetic too much to hate the show, which is Gundam Seed and Gundam Seed Destiny. But you don't watch
Usually
the
have
shows.
perfect characters. Perfect characters have been done well.
This is not one of them. Gundam, do not watch Gundam Seed. It is not a good show. I just love the aesthetic too much, and it's what got me into anime.
Isn't I've heard good things about like shows like Gundam 00. Is that what it's called?
Gundam 00 is a very good show.
I've heard good things about that one. I've heard good things about Gundam Suit, like Gundam Suit something.
Well, they're all mobile suit something, which is like the weird Japanese. It's
Isn't
like
Gundam like 40 years old?
Yeah, it's old
yes,
as hell. It's a classic, really, at this point.
the first Gundam was in the 70s.
Wild.
Yeah, and I mean the one I'm talking about is from 2000, I believe. But yeah, there's like 50 something Gundam series, I believe.
Yeah, let me
There's
see if I
a
can pull
lot.
up a quick Wikipedia page here.
There's
79.
a lot. Jesus.
79 series?
Well, no, the 79 was the year of the first one. It's just called Mobile
Okay, I was
Suit
gonna
Gundam.
say fucking 79 different
Oh,
series.
dude, it might be like
I
there's
believe 79 different iterations, like movies and the shows added up to all together. Yeah. You can definitely tell that the show's high budget and like comes from an acclaimed series, just because
Yeah.
the world itself, it's confident. You can tell from right off the bat that it's very confident in what it's trying to do. I respect it.
Yeah, there's 12 different like series in terms of like universes, and then there's multiple shows within each universe. So like
Fuck.
Universal Century, which is the new type one, which generally is everyone's favorite and is one of my non-favorite, has Mobile Suit Gundam, MS
That's the
Igloo,
one.
the Eighth MS team, War in the Pocket, Stardust Memories, Zeta, Double Zeta, Charge Counterattack, Gundam Unicorn, Gundam F92, Crossbone Gundam, Victory Gundam, G Saber, and Turn A Gundam are all in that universe. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
there's a
was
lot
really
of shit.
boring. Yeah, I was gonna say.
I am
Let's move on.
I am a huge Gundam nerd. Okay.
Anyway, back to the
What
question,
rating?
Jelly.
Yeah.
What was your
What
thoughts on the
rating
show?
characters?
3. They're pretty
Oh,
good.
okay.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right. Are you ready for sound design? Because I
Oh, real
imagine
quick, before we move
Jelly's.
on to characters, though, one of my favorite character moments was when the little lolly cook was like, "Oh no, Mika's gonna go for that one girl instead of me." But then they meet like that fucking playboy motherfucker with his ship who has like all these wives, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Wait a minute, if he has so much love, maybe we can both be his wife."
Yeah.
How could you not like that fact? The show just I got like 1,000 wives. What good, son?
Right. Even though he has like
How
obviously
can
a
you
favorite
not
wife
like
that stays on
Naze?
with him on the ship, but all the kids also stay with him.
It's pretty Chad maneuver. Not gonna lie.
The real question is, where's all the other wives at?
I think there's less wives than you think.
So there's more than just that turban ship. The turbans basically are like an organization. Do you want to know the backstory, or do you want to find out the backstory when you watch it later, Jake?
Those damn turbans and all their wives.
Sorry, what do you say, Jake?
I'll wait to find out on my own.
Okay, well, I'll just give you the cliff notes. The turbans were based out of basically there was like a women's only shipping company,
Mm-hmm.
and then they also like brought on like the like the horse and all this kind of shit because originally Amida was a whore and that's how they met. She was a whore and a mercenary, and then they basically Naze was like, "Oh, I could just bring all these people together and make them." And he's like, "Well, family's a little bit weird, so I'll just make them my wives because he's the fucking Chad."
And they're just down with it.
Yep.
I fucking love it.
Dude, fantastic. There's some really interesting characters. Like even McGillis seems you don't really learn that much about him right now, other than the fact that he's supposed to be married to a lolly. But he's a really interesting character, and he really develops well. And he's probably most accurate to what most people would describe me as a character in the show as.
I bet his
Am I
long
wrong?
life developed well too.
Of course, 10 years Kelly asked about fucking lolly.
No, it wasn't an ask. It was a joke. Because I gotta liven up this fucking. I gotta liven this shit up a little bit.
Okay. What, Jelly? What's your favorite character? What character would me and Jake be in the show?
I know what
Why don't
character
you
Joey
answer
would
that?
be already.
Hitler mustache guy.
No. You're the blonde guy that works for Gallowhorn that's promised to a child bride.
Oh. As soon as I saw that, he's like, "It's weird. Even though it's my sister, I kind of feel bad that you're marrying a child." It's like, whoa! We're just gonna throw all of this out there like 2 lines. My
Oh,
God, that one took me by surprise.
I know how it was
Jake.
brought so casually.
Jake.
It's like, how often does this guy bring up the fact he's marrying his child bride's sister?
Jake,
What?
Jake, wait till you finish the series because there's a fan-fucking-tastic moment that's involved in what you're talking about.
Oh boy.
Yikers!
God, yeah. No, I guess Jelly's that. Who's Jake? That's a hard one in this show. Who am I actually? You guys probably know.
Why are we still here?
Yeah, I was gonna go with either Orga or Mika.
All right, I'm cool with both of those.
Maybe Mika just because you're so blunt and to the point.
Fair enough.
But Joel's too literate.
That's true. So I guess you're Orga.
Like I can't imagine Joel being like dense.
That is very true. Joel's
Like
definitely
I can imagine you being an ass, but not dense.
Jake, God, I guess Jake would have to, maybe Biscuit. Is Jake Biscuit?
Mechanical man.
I don't.
He is saying you're one of the smarter characters, and you're always thinking, head outside the box.
Outside the biscuit box.
Well, I don't think.
Our sister's named like Cookie and
Cracker.
Yeah, it's Cookie and
Cookie
Cracker.
and Cracker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Why?
would have said that the one has a cute
Just
name like
okay.
Cookie and the other one's just fucking Cracker.
It's because she's white, isn't it?
They're both
They're
white.
both white.
Yeah, but only one of them's the Cracker.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Jelly.
Jelly's getting his peanut butter out.
I am a diamond dog. It's good.
Jelly,
No,
provide all the best clips for advertising the show, as usual.
Yeah, exactly. when I get off my lazy ass and make a clip, it's almost always of Jelly or Brendan. Let's be real.
What do you gotta say? I am the talent.
Mm-hmm. Jake, you're purple-haired guy, actually, probably.
Oh, fuck yeah, he's pretty cool too.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it and all the characters, yeah.
Sound design was good.
Yeah, now we get on the sound. I generally enjoy all of the sound, and the openings are fucking dank.
Yeah, they're pretty good opening and closings. I like them both.
Opening and closings are okay. They weren't like super standout.
I don't know. I got that one part stuck. Raise your flag.
Dude, that's the shit. I as soon as I initially heard that, I went and bought the song.
It's
initially
you bought music in
surprisingly
2020.
catchy, and
They
the animation to
also-
go along with it is pretty good.
That band also did Seven Deadly Sins as well.
Of course,
Music
and they both have 2 buff midgets in it.
Well, you brought it up that Meliodas and Mikazuki have the same kind of energy, so figure that in there.
Dude, like even Aubrey pointed out, it's like they look the same. Like we just changed the hair color; they're pretty much the same. And then they both have a love interest with like a big booby character that has like big hair. Just like I see you, Joel. I see you.
Except one's a 3,000-year-old demon that's fucking trying to run away from his past, and the other one's an illiterate kid.
We're talking about physicality here.
Why is he so shredded?
Because he works out, dog.
He works in a mine all day, and then when he gets done working at the mine, he goes and do fucking pull-ups all night with his homie.
Yep. You don't want to be jacked, Jelly? It sounds like you're jealous.
I am. I'm incredibly jealous of not in a child paramilitary group that, without the ability to read words and can control a let's see, 100 billion ton mech suit.
Hey,
This
I
guy's
love
hey,
got a better job
hey!
than you.
Not all of them don't know how to read. And plus, have you seen them? All of them except Biscuit are shredded, which is kind of a plot hole. Why isn't Biscuit shredded? He's been working at the mine too.
Because they needed a fat character for people to relate to.
Did you just no yourself?
Yeah.
This show's
Snake
really
ear.
gone downhill.
Snake ear, Doc. I don't know what to do.
A good point.
All right. So where are you actually going to rate?
4 because I get to imagine that they're talking to fucking boss all the time. Boss,
He was
boss.
just watching this whole show high off his ass and like, man, I didn't know they made a Metal Gear anime. Why'd they put it in space though?
Yeah,
What is this,
I
like
didn't
Metal
know.
Gear 3000?
I didn't know Peace Walker was such a dope ass fucking
Man,
anime.
Jelly, if you keep watching, you're going to have a fucking surprise about how similar it is to Metal Gear at one point.
Oh, I don't doubt it. The politics is good. The actual like fighting is cool. I like how they run out of their like showing their fuel. The fuel is like important.
Yes.
It was very important in Evangelion too. I like that. Except that one they were pussy ass bitches and had to be connected by a cable.
Yes.
Yeah, that was
Also, a Metal Gear might arrive at some point.
Oh boy!
I know.
I really like the dub. I'm not such a fan of the sub because I watched season 2 in sub originally. I think the dub is pretty good though. I don't really have any complaints about it, and I think they recycle sounds in the Gundam fights a little bit too much for my liking, but it's not too distracting when you're actually watching the show. So
I know what you mean. The kind of like the fight noises kind of repeat in a cycle.
yeah, just the fucking gun noise every time Mikazuki shoots the gun. It's the same
Yeah.
ting. Yeah, it's the same sound and the same ting.
Yeah, the sword effect, the sound of the swords is kind of repeated.
Yeah.
I will agree with you, Joe. I do prefer the dub over the sub. Dub is infinitely better. The sub, whatever reason, I just could not get into it at all. And I'm normally the guy that like doesn't mind watching subs either.
And depends. Sometimes I like it more. I mean, be glad, Jelly, because the other show is in sub only, so at least you could watch this one in English.
Yay!
I don't think your fucking ass would have got any plot points if it was basketball. It was sub only.
No, I've actually watched an anime that was like a sports. I think it was a baseball one. I watched it like I think the whole series or close to.
Oh boy, I should have made you watch fucking sports anime. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5 for me.
I'm give it a 4 just because I love how they made every ending to an episode like it was like the last episode of a season where they bring up the fucking music as it transitions to the credits.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
You're like fucking scarred from.
It's just a little
Goddamn.
extra love shown everywhere.
I thought it
You're
was a nice
scarred from
touch. It got me
Tokyo
hyped
Ghoul.
and it in, and I was like, wow, I really want to watch the next episode now.
Yeah. Also, you're scarred from Tokyo Ghoul, so that
Yeah,
doesn't help.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. What do we think about art and like design in terms of that? Because I really like how they did the mobile suits, and the whole theme and concept behind the mobile suits feels very grounded to me. I know Jelly doesn't feel like it grounded, but I've watched a lot more Gundam than him.
Which I did want
I
to
mean, it
circle
makes
back
sense in
to
canon.
Mm-hmm.
because
Like-
I enjoyed the Gundam designs and the fights. I feel like there's plenty of weight into them.
I very much like how I've already stated, but how the actual characters are easy to distinguish, and it's not hard to tell. Thank fuck.
I think the animation itself is pretty good. The design, I think design's better than the actual execution of like framing. I think some of the framing angles can be a bit repetitive. There's some good ones, like I'm not trying to think. I don't know. They do a good job of trying to show instead of tell. But
Mm-hmm.
I think when things are moving around is when it starts looking a little choppy in a way.
Yeah.
or like it's not to say choppy. It just doesn't. You just kind of lose your sense of where you're at in it. Maybe it's just me.
Mm-hmm.
I think
I
that's
wasn't
because most
belligerently
shows.
high. Just be like, "Whoa, where am I at, man?
I
Yo,
think
there's all these flashes." No, I was trying to, it just sometimes when they're moving around, it just doesn't. It's not shown in the best way
Are you
to.
trying to say like the scale of the battleground? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I'm trying to say like when it cuts to Mitsugu fighting in the mech, it's like it just doesn't. I don't know. It's easy to lose track of where he'd be at in conjunction to the rest of the battle. I guess, yeah. We'll go with what you said.
The scale of the battlefield.
Yes, yeah,
How big the battlefield is, where things are happening.
yeah,
Literally
sure.
what I said.
Yeah, yeah. Let's recall. For you, it is 2 in the morning. For me, it is 1 in the morning.
That doesn't help. And I also work at 7 in the morning. That doesn't help you.
No, I was saying I'm tired. You're tired.
But I was the one on the right.
I am not saying you're wrong. I'm just
Not
saying
the fuck.
Anyway, I really enjoyed the animation and art all around. I agree with Joel that the character designs are very distinct, gave everyone a nice feel. You could kind of tell what everyone's about right away, just based on how they looked.
I give it a spiteful 2 and move on.
Fuck you.
just just because you dared diss me.
I'm gonna
I-
give it a 4.
I will give it a 4. Because, yeah. Would you guys continue watching this show? I mean, Jake, you already said yes. 'Cause
Yes, easily.
you're rolling with it. Would Jelly
I
continue
I
to
at
watch
least want to
Boss?
finish the series. I just at least want to see what's going on with that. Orca is a pretty good character. I like seeing what he does, even if he's a very altruistic. It's probably just he's probably gonna have to make a bad call.
Yeah.
I've
Well,
already kind of seen one sign of that where he's like, "Oh, I almost got one of my teammates killed."
yeah. Well, like, you gotta remember, like, he looks. They should have upturned the kid factor a little bit because he's a fucking kid that was turned into a slave that knew nothing. So he's gonna be altruistic when he starts to get some power.
No, I understand why he is the way he is. I'm just saying that might get a little bit repetitive to watch as an audience viewer, but
I mean, it fits his character though. It's even shown in the brief flashbacks that he's like the big brother character to Mika, who always
yeah,
looked
no,
after him.
I understand that. I do have one grievance with this character. His hair is fucking stupid.
Oh my god.
It is, but I think that's kind of the funny point in the show because he's constantly
No,
closing and opening one of his eyes.
he looks like fucking Falco.
Do you not like Falco?
No, I do, but a human should not have a
I don't
beak.
see the problem if you like Falco.
See,
I like
I'll be
Falco for being a bird, and Falco in a
this is how I
different
look like
series
Falco. I like
entirely. What sort of hair color is that? How do you get your hair to do that?
Now,
Fucking
really
Japan,
look
dude. What
like
do you
It's
mean?
anime. I
original
get
hair
that.
color?
Oh, I'm gonna leave in like
And
2
his is like
seconds.
white or gray. There's a guy with purple hair.
It-
Hey, Jay, can we talk about the
Hey
scene where
Connor. Hey Connor. Why do the animals talk in Dragon Ball Z?
Hey, Connor, why you got a problem with talking pigs? Hey, Jake, can we talk about the scene where the one lieutenant from Mars is like super pissed that they painted the fucking grays pink and he's in a fucking purple mech suit?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty hilarious. I'm just like, your mech suit itself is one step away from being pink.
I didn't even realize that the first time I watched it through. And then I was watching it and I heard the voice line and it cuts to like him dodging an attack. I'm like, wait, you're in a purple mech suit. The fuck you talking about?
Right?
Purple
You're
is a
talking about
manly
any less
color.
outlandish.
Purple is a manly color, but do you have a problem with pink?
Yeah.
What's
You got a
wrong with
problem with
lightish
pink?
red? What's wrong with lightish red, Jelly?
Just not as good.
Explain.
If you wanted a quality explanation, you come to the wrong place. I
Fair enough.
kind of just say things that come to my brain. To quote
How
Michael
have you-
Scott from The Office, sometimes I'll start a sentence and not really know where it's going until we get there towards the end.
This is why he fits in the old age home.
You're literally like that picture of like the ship posting chimp that's just like typing at the keyboard like.
Oh boy.
Why were you not taught to have a filter as a kid?
Oh, I was filtered. I was very filtered.
All right, you joined a cult. That's why.
Yeah. They put a water filter in me.
Is as good as a Brita filter though?
Brita filter would have been more quality. I was a
Same.
plastic bottle with some cloth in it to do a very rough filtration system.
So you're saying it's about on par with my ass hair trying to filter out my diarrhea.
How about that? Move.
I don't know. I don't know how much diarrhea your ass hair has to fucking filtrate.
Wait, how
If it's
diarrhea
more than the average
occur?
amount, then you might need to go get a colonoscopy here soon.
How much does this diarrhea occur? Because
Not often.
not
I'm just
eating
saying
well.
when it happens.
And if your butt crack hair is good at filtering out the diarrhea from your poop,
Oh, no, I never
gotta
said it was
understand. I gotta
good.
understand. So your hair does not do a good job of filtering out the poop.
No, just like the cloth and water bottle.
But cloth and water bottle does a better job of actually filtering out like the.
Change the subject.
Ass. I think we concluded that bit.
The train is officially rolling down the hill.
Millions are dead.
Oh shit! Oh god damn it! This is why we're friends, Jelly. Because fucking hilarious. You're
Glad
fucking
I-
trick of a person, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, that's me.
The human shitpost. Alright, do we have anything else we want to touch on the series?
No,
Thank
just I was surprisingly, it was very pretty looking. I was surprised by it. Just all around a great show, really. Can't wait to finish it up.
I hope you guys continue watching it because the show, in my opinion, well, at least season 1 has a really good ending to it, in my opinion. Does make you want to watch season 2 though, because it doesn't necessarily end their story, because there is a season 2, but it does end the plot point that they are on entirely.
Okay. Jelly, do you have anything to add?
Boss.
I'm gonna kill him.
That is all. That's all I gotta say, boss.
This fucking episode is gonna be titled "Boss," the Metal Geared Iron Snake, or some bullshit like that.
I like it.
Metal Gear
all right.
Blood Orphans.
Yeah, that one. I like that one. All right. Well, thank you for listening to the podcast in what is probably going to be one of the worst episodes of the season. And I feel like I keep saying that, so it must be garbage. We're available
Much like the rest of 2020.
We're available on all of your common podcasts, including all of your Apple Podcasts, your Spotify, and your Google Podcasts, and all the fucking rest of them. Also available on YouTube. Please go give us a subscription there. And if you want to hear Jelly's random ramblings once or twice a week, please follow our Twitter, where I'll be posting clips every once in a while when I remember to.
I gotta actually help you with that.
Yeah, well, no one's done what I've asked. Big fucking surprise. Anyway, we'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye.
Hope you have happy holidays.
Boss.